lead contender for the vaccination. So definitely want to keep them on the watch list as the stock has been trending up. Although if we jump over to the 180-day chart, she is reaching overbought levels. So definitely want to be cautious if it does start to push up, because it does seem like it may actually be a double top. So let me just mute them in back with me real quick. So it does look like it could be a possible double top. MACD wants to cross over. We are getting overbought, so definitely want to be cautious. Looking at Pfizer for a possible break of that previous high over here at 41.50. I believe once it breaks that area, as you can see, the RSI has been more overbought before. We could possibly push up towards that 42, and there is possible room to even push up towards that 43 and maybe a little bit higher. As you can see, the RSI has been more overbought before. So 41.50 towards that 42. And of course, we could possibly go up a little bit more. If it does start to pull back, let me just check the 20-day real quick. 20-day looks like it is starting to look a little bit exhausted, although it's been more overbought before. We can't ignore that the MACD seems like it wants to cross down. So definitely want to be cautious to see if this starts to look like a double top, because this has been a previous resistance area where we can see multiple candles actually rejecting these areas as the previous resistance zone. So definitely if it does start to cross back down and this area does seem to be some type of area of resistance, we could look out, red candle right there. We could look for basically a drop from the price of $41. Use that flat number, also the break of the EMA right there. And also if basically the 20-day starts to continue to cross down, just mute you guys. If the 20-day crosses down, as you can see over here, and then the 180-day starts to get a little bit bearish, on the break of 41, we could have a nice little drop. Let's jump back over to the 20-day chart over here. We could have a nice little drop to this support area right here around 40. So you guys could look to enter around like 41, and that's a dollar move right there. And Pfizer contracts aren't even too much. So you could actually have a dollar drop, and there's actually more possibility for downside than upside at this moment. So definitely we could have an even bigger drop from 41 all the way down to 40, and maybe even down towards that 39 or 40, 39.90 over here. So definitely this area was a previous support before. So that's what the outlook is for this one. 41.50 towards 42. And then we could get down from 41, which is the break of the 180-day EMA, down towards that 40 price point. So that's just Pfizer, just because they have key news in the market right now, especially since I believe that's the key contender of vaccine that we're going to be using. So definitely want to keep them in the watch, but still understand that they are overbought at this time. Next one I want to check out is actually the SPY, the overall market. It seems like we're trapped going in the sideways motion. We haven't really been getting too crazy of the volume that we're used to in the past couple of months. So definitely want to be cautious as the SPY is trading sideways. Definitely need some volume, especially since we're option traders. So definitely want to look at that break of 369.94 for a possible push towards that 372. I believe this was also on our watch list yesterday and the past couple of days. It just goes to show you that this area has been a key resistance area for the SPY. So definitely need to get above that 370 for me to trust it. So 370 towards that 372. And then if it starts to come down, you can see the SMA start to hold the stock as some type of support. So definitely if it starts to get below that area right there, we can look for a possible short. Let's jump over to the 180-day chart. You can see the 180-day is crossed down, although it is above divergence. There is a possible downside to be had, especially if it starts to open up. So definitely want to look for a possible short. Let me fix my time sales. Definitely want to look for a possible short on the break of that 366.90, and then we could possibly short it down towards that 365. Always remember to set your alerts, especially when you're trading multiple stocks. It just allows you to basically get a quick message right above over here saying what stocks that may be breaking key resistance areas. So next, also If you guys have any stocks that you guys want to call out, please put it out in the comment section and we'll take a look at it later on in the video. So let's check out the elephant in the room, Tesla. So Tesla basically did, I think, a share offering where they're selling like 5 billion shares. So that's actually a negative catalyst within the stock. We were pushing up. We were holding Tesla yesterday just because we seen outlook where the RSI actually been more overbought than where it was at previously. So definitely called it out in the group chat saying that Tesla should be able to go towards that 650 mark. And you could kind of see that it's kind of odd. As soon as it got close to being extremely overbought on the RSI, it just started to sell off, kind of natural. I feel like this isn't really a really drastic sell-off compared to like how much the stock is trading, because it's pushed up to 669 and it's sitting right here on like 628. So definitely want to watch to see how it reacts over here, especially on the break of that 607 price point. 607 has been a strong resistance area for the stock previously, so it should act as a good support for the stock. So definitely this is going to be the area in which I want to watch Tesla for a possible break, because I believe this would be a good area to for a possible break, because this area has been respected multiple times. So on that break of 607, we could probably short Tesla all the way down towards 583 if this news starts to pick up steam. So all you want to do is just set your alerts. It's starting to break the EMA, confirming a downward trend. It's starting to get overbought. RSI is pulling back in. There's more room for downside. We know Tesla is running. Sometimes it's just natural for a stock to have a pullback. Doesn't mean Tesla is going to go down towards the floor. Just means that it's just having a pullback because of the news, readjust itself, and probably trend right back up. But for a possible short, 607 to that 583 mark seems pretty good to me. So let's jump over to the 20-day. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any key areas. So it's clean over here, no SMA, no EMA. So this would be a nice clean little drop if we do get it. And as you can see, the 20-day MACD has crossed down. There's more room for downside as well. So definitely want to keep that on watch for a possible break. You can see this area has been identified as some type of key support. So if we want to look for an uptrend on Tesla, say it finds support, starts to trend back up, I'm probably not going to look to get in unless we break that 670 price point. Reason being, this has been a key area of basically resistance for the stock before a nice drop. And typically when Tesla takes these nice drops, it likes to go sideways. So I think the cleanest move for me would probably be above that 670 area. Or if you want to look to get in early, the 20-day crosses over, you could look to get above that 650 towards that 670 price point. So 650 towards 670, and then we'll reevaluate how the chart looks from there. But that's just in case we basically pull back in and try to basically retest the high over here and we don't completely sell off. So now I'm going to take a look at the chat room, see what we got. We got Neo over here, Sully. We got Boeing and XPEV from Omaha. So just looking at NEO over here on the 100 on the 20-day over here, 20-day 1 hour. Just want to check to see if there's any news on NEO. I know the EV stocks have been running. Typically, NEO and Tesla runs hand in hand. Just looking at this, we could see that we had a double bottom. I believe we called it out a few days ago that NEO may actually have a double bottom at this area over here for a possible bounce. Definitely, we were looking at it for the break over here around like that 44 price point. And then we were looking for a break from 44 and then for a possible move towards this SMA over here. As you can see, the SMA has acted as resistance in the past. So definitely want to be cautious going forward with NEO. She is getting a little bit overbought. You can possibly get a nice gap up from the break of this resistance around like that 47. And then we could possibly push up towards that 49 price point. So definitely a nice one. I'll probably throw this one up for probably retest of that SMA. Seems like the stock does have more room on the RSI to do that as well too. So 47 towards that 49 for a possible gap fill play towards that previous level of resistance. Remember, this 48, 49 area has been resistance before, so definitely want to keep a close watch on it and set a stop if anything comes astray. So jumping over to the 180-day chart, you can see that the 180-day MACD has crossed over. Sully, you're doing good, man. 180-day has crossed over, confirming that uptrend possibility. So definitely jump over to the 20-day. So we have the 20-day and the 180-day both confirming that uptrend possibility. Definitely what you want to see. There's a lot of room for upside. As you can see, the stock recently took a nice drop. It bounced up, kind of like a dead cat bounce. It tried to come back down. It respected that SMA and it's starting to come up. So definitely that 46, 47 price point towards that 49 does look validated. Just in case something comes astray, it starts to find resistance, you could probably look for a nice little short on the break of that 45 over here towards 43. And of course, it could probably go a little bit lower, especially if you get a crossover. So 45 towards that 43. Remember to set your alerts. Look like she's trying to break that 47 before the bell. So that's a nice call out. Boeing. So let's check out Boeing. So Boeing's a nice one. Definitely been having Boeing on my watch list lately, just because of the way it's moving, especially with the 737 MAX. Definitely coming into play. I see a lot more players, a lot more companies buying the 737 MAX. So definitely want to watch to see how it's going. Seems like Japan has a stimulus package. So I don't know, maybe some people are going to be buying more planes. But all in all, let's look at the charts. Just want to clear this up real quick. So it seems like we're finding some type of strong resistance around this 244 price point. I'm not really too shocked that we're finding some type of resistance over here, just because if we look at the 5-year, that's exactly where the SMA is. So it's crazy how the chart reading always comes to prevail in the end. So that's why I was looking for Boeing to possibly get in above that 247, 250 price point for a possible gap fill towards that 300. So that's my secret plan on Boeing. Don't tell nobody, but that's the secret plan on Boeing. Right now it is overbought. So I do believe that Boeing may have some type of pullback. We can see the 20 days already crossed down. This area has been rejected almost 3 times now, and we're basically just going flat. So I believe we're either going to consolidate, I believe above that 247, 250 price point. That would be a nice key area above that 5-year SMA. But right now it's finding some type of support. I believe if we break that 237 price point, we could have a nice little drop from 237 to 230. So I like that one. 237 to 230. I don't even think I could post this video. 237 to 230. We're posting up too much heat in here. All right. So on the break of that 247, we could possibly gap up towards that magical number of 300. So we're going to post that up like that. 247 towards 300. But I definitely think that the stock needs some type of pullback before we could continue the uptrend. So let me check out what else you guys got over here. XPV. So XPV, another electric car company. All right, looking at XPV on the 180-day 4-hour. Seems like we had a nice little pullback over here. So it pushed up to 78, had a little pullback. It's found some type of support around that 43, 44 price point. That area was a problem area for the stock previously. You can see over here how we had support and resistance going on around the same area. So it seems pretty natural starting to bounce up from here. We could see that the RSI has more room for upside. We are starting to get above the EMA line. So this is pretty good right here. So I like this call out, Omar. You're growing very good, man. I think you texting me too often. I'm rubbing off on you. 51. And then we could start pushing up towards 57. So I like this one. I have to throw this on up as well too. XPV 51 towards that 57. You can unmute yourself if you want.
Oh shit. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Man, you're learning fast, man. This is a nice one. There's a lot of potential for upside on this one. A few areas being validated as well. 20-day MACD looks like it's going into divergence, confirming that uptrend. Could possibly have a push up towards 57, which is also the 20-day SMA. So I like that play right there. Definitely, if we start to pull back, we could start looking for some type of break around like that 47 price point, 47.70, 47.60. Let me remove this, put it a little bit lower. 47 down towards that 44. Remember to keep up your 1 hour chart, especially when you guys are in a trade. Just gives you more confidence when in a trade. Like, especially yesterday, I was trading Tesla. I'm like, yo, if I did not have this 1 hour chart up, you'd be scared like every few dips, every crossover. That 1 hour chart gives you more comfortable, makes you a little bit more comfortable inside the trade. Apple and Microsoft, and then we're going to stop there. Ooh, Apple is pushing up. Just mute Umar before we hear him flushing the toilet. All right, finding some type of resistance over here. We seem to have broken out from that area. We hit 124.66. That was an area of resistance, and Apple's just breaking out, yo. It's crazy how Apple was a laggard before. We were looking at Apple before a few months ago, where it was a laggard underneath that SMA, where it was acting as resistance. As soon as we broke that SMA, we started to trend up. If you guys look through, do your homework and look through a few charts, you'll see the same common patterns repeat themselves. So the stock market tends to become more predictable because you start seeing more of the same pattern. So it's definitely that after hour homework that you see more shine within your progress in your P&L. So definitely watch to see when stocks get around the SMA, typically when they break out, you do get some nice moves, whether it is to the downside or to the upside. So Apple over here, we're sitting at that 124.96, basically 125. Our side on the 20-day is looking like it's very overbought. As you can see over here, although it's been more overbought in the past, just want to acknowledge that it is overbought at this moment. 180-day looks like it wants to cross over, so that looks like it seems to be in good favor as well too. So if this 180-day crossover, we break that 125 price point, we could zoom in over here. We seem to have some type of resistance around like 126. So it could go from 125 to 126, and then you just follow it over like that 128. So definitely want to be cautious as it does continue to uptrend, but it has been more overbought before. So definitely want to follow that with a stop loss. So if we do start to trend down, probably look to short it from that 123 price point all the way down towards that 122. So that's another nice one. Oof. Microsoft looks like she's struggling. So kind of like what I was telling you before, how that SMA is basically validated within pretty much every stock we look at, where we could see that clearly the stock is holding this area as support. So you could kind of play a game with this thing where you could see where it's high points and low points very easily. And then you could choose, I don't know if you're looking at this for a long term or if you're looking at this for a day trade. I don't know, pretty much the volume looks pretty low right now at the moment as well too. So I don't really like charts like this where it's too sideways for option playing, but definitely if you do see some type of volatility and it starts to pick up, 20-day is crossed down at the moment. It is starting to try to break the SMA, maybe a break of this 213 towards that 212, and then you could possibly get a lot more down, where the RSI is basically sitting in the middle, kind of like where the stock is sitting in the middle, where it has the opportunity to either go up or down on the 20-day. And you kind of see the same trend repeat itself on the 180-day over here. You can see it's kind of holding that SMA as well too. Although the 180-day MACD looks like it wants to cross down, I would just wait for key confirmation for it to break that level right here, that 212, because it seems to be respected multiple times for a bounce. So you definitely don't want to get in too early and then it ends up bouncing on you. So wait for that 212 break, then you could, that 213 break. Let me zoom in. That 213 break down towards that 212 for a scalp, but definitely pay attention to how these contracts are moving. I don't know if that area of profit is worth it for you, since there is some type of support right here that's been respected multiple times. a little choppy on this one. So not one of my favorite picks. So Danny always with the last minute one. Square. Okay, I'll check out Square for you. Square, that's it, bro. Square, that's it. Just because I like Square. Square's pushing
No,
up.
Square's the same thing. Yeah, it's got to be the same thing. It's like,
Yeah, it's holding that 215 resistance. And to be
yeah,
honest, you should be excited about this because if you think about it, we were holding that 607 resistance for Tesla. This is it's a common pattern with stocks where they struggle with the resistance area for so much, where you just have to wait for it to break that resistance level. Once it breaks that resistance level, there's so much anticipation and people having FOMO because they basically someone got in over here and it couldn't break.
yeah,
Now
literally.
they're red. Now they're like, nah,
Yeah,
bro, now I finally broke 215. I have to jump in. And it's kind of like the same ripple effect that we've seen with Tesla. That's going to happen with this one as well. So the more it
fucking space,
struggles,
dude.
the more it's going to take off. So I'm
Oh,
excited.
really?
Yeah, the more it struggles, bro, the more it's going to take off because now we identified this 215 so strongly. Everybody knows that this isn't, it's not like a hidden resistance level where you got to look between the years and the months. This is the high of the all-time high. So if it's struggling to break this point, as soon as we break this, it's going to be an easy run to 220, depending
Beautiful.
on how the basically the RSI looks at that moment.
Yeah, I got next week's fucking just one like expensive contract.
Yeah, just be careful, Bo, because on the 180 day, if it starts to break that EMA, it is going to confirm a downward trend after that. You can see that the EMA has been acting as some type of support on the way down. So maybe on the break of that EMA, it's probably going to be a bearish trend. So then you got to level yourself, be like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
is it worth the risk at that point? But after that, I think we're just going to close it up
Yeah,
from
that's
there. Thanks,
that's good. And then
thanks,
spies
Danny.
fucking it's just yeah,
You called out some
really
nice stocks, bro. Congratulations to everybody. You guys are all improving very fast. So definitely want to keep an eye on the SPY today. This is the 180 day. She's going sideways. We need some type of movement to get some type of sway in the market. Although we've been getting some good hitters like Tesla and Pfizer, and then we got like Palantir, all these crazy stocks that are running right now without the SPY. So that's very good. So definitely want to see how it reacts today. Is it going to break that 370, or are we going to continue to fill in this red candle on the 180 day? So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys at 9:30 in the chat room. Later, guys.
Peace out, bro.